Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Classic Reddit. Today's question is, cat owners of Reddit, what is the weirdest or funniest thing your cat has ever done? The first reply by She Likes Cloth. Whenever I fill my cat's water dish, he has to splash in it first before he drinks. I don't have a clue why, and I'm not that educated in cat psychology. One time, he splashed in his water as per his ritual, then laid down in the puddle he just created, then freaked out because he was wet now. It was the funniest thing I've seen in a long time. Oh, I know this one. Cats have trouble determining distance of things that aren't moving, so they stick their paw in the dish to figure out where the surface of the water is. That and they're neurotic little weirdos. My cat's weird with her water as well, but she'll put her stuff in it. Her toys, her collar, leaves from outside. She's a little weirdo. My dad has this ritual where every night he makes tea and stands at the counter and counts 500 dips with the tea bag. Kinda weird, I know, but we had a litter of kittens that would use that opportunity to climb up his clothes and sit on his shoulder. All 5 of them. Every night. It was super adorable. That sounds amazing. Your cat. I brought in a mouse for you to catch. Wait, why are you on the coffee table and screaming? I should get on the coffee table and scream in solidarity. Our cat has a very strict no phones in bed rule. If she sees the phone glow after lights are out for the night, she'll wedge herself between the screen and your face and refuse to move until you turn it off and put it away. Ours does exactly the same. We got him as a kitten from a friend's litter, and later found out he's a Turkish Angora breed and follows all the traits. He's playful, super vocal, hides toys in sticky spots, and digs them out and has to ride on our shoulders. Ooh, an epic post by Rainy Boots. In response to cat owners of Reddit, what's the weirdest or funniest thing your cat has ever done? We got a new kitten in May. He was 5 weeks old at the time and was very, very underfed. The shelter got him at 3 weeks and fed him adult wet food from that point on. Love him to pieces, but the start of his life gave him a rough start to it. He is by no means an intellectual giant, and he does things every day that make us question him. He once ate soap, threw it up, and decided it wasn't that bad and went for seconds. Had to switch him to newspaper litter while he was healing from his neuter surgery. Thought that we were giving him an entire tray of kibble. Ha! Loves looking at the ceiling fan. The significant other thought that the ceiling fan was turned off, as it was moving really slowly, lifted him up so he could get a closer look, and the kitten put his face in the way of the fan. Thought the pizza guy was his new dad, tried to go home with him, unrelated to the previous fan in the face incident, broke the Christmas tree by thinking he could lie in the branches, decided that the metal base of the Christmas tree was a good chew toy, and chewed on it for an hour before giving up. We did everything to try and deter him from chewing it, but he was adamant. Many, many more. One of our cats, in the middle of the night, got his head stuck in a handle of a paper Chinese takeout bag. He freaked out and ran a very noisy circuit throughout the house, peeing the entire way. When we found him under the office futon, he was still wearing a section of that paper bag like a cape. Freaking cat hero. I legit cracked up on the train reading this. I'm sure you appreciate random internet suggestions, but my first cat had trouble with stress-induced aggression. The vet wouldn't give my kitty anti-depressants, but recommended Zylkne. It's a little supplement that's synthesized from the component of mother's milk that calms puppies and kittens. I'd open up the capsule and sprinkle the powder on his food. It helped, although I found trial and error if more is needed. It's an increase in frequency, not dosage. I set it up so my automatic feeder would let my cat have a new bit of food with the dose every 8 hours. I had 2 Scottish folds who somehow knew that if they sneezed on my food, they would get it. I was forced to stop eating in front of the TV and instead had to eat at the kitchen table. Huh! Oh, what a tragedy! I couldn't find my passport the night before an international flight. I seriously and increasingly frantically pulled the house apart. My cat must have thought I was trying to catch a mouse, so kindly brought me a half-dead one. Oh man, that's great timing. My cats refuse to drink from the water dish. We have a bathtub faucet that has a slow and constant drip. They will sit outside the bathroom begging to get in for hours to drink from the bathtub instead of drinking from the water dish. Guessing by your username, you'll want us to PM you a pic of other cats in bathtubs. Yes, our previous cat would drink from glasses, or puddles outside, or anything to avoid his water dish. We called this his special water. I've read that some cats avoid a water dish that's too near to the litter box. I don't know if that's what's going on or not. Found a tiny kitten in the garbage. Took him home and nursed him to health. He got his Wheaties and climbed into my dinner plate one day and started chowing down on the creamed corn. Ha, that's adorable. One time my cat purred so hard that the air began to puff out of her lips. She also gave herself a coughing fit. She goes absolutely ham on leaves that you bring inside, full on running, hilarious on our tile floor, ambushing you, hiding behind the couch, all sorts of things. Then afterwards, she gets super tired and cuddles up next to you, or on you, to sleep. She's turning 2 this spring. Mine sits on her ass, like people do, next to me on the couch. Really amusing for a cat her size, a hefty Maine Coon calico mix. My cat tries giving his mice toys water. It's so cute. He tries keeping them alive before killing them. Weirdest diet was probably my previous cat. Favorite food was bananas. She wouldn't bother me much if I ate unless it was really interesting. But I found a banana, she would be going mental. Also enjoyed the taste of apples and watermelon, but more liked those than ate. More licked those. My current one, 5 months old, is a weird one. Fell down 2 stories from the window. Another one is that when I get home and walk upstairs, my entrance is on the ground floor, living room, kitchen, on 2nd floor. She runs up the stairs and tries to get up before me. She hasn't quite handled the stairs yet, so sliding in the stairs, they do a 180-degree turn halfway up. In the turns and hitting the wall is quite common for her. The 2 best situations, however, was when she decided to try and grab the center pole halfway up the stairs. She slid through the sprinklers in the stairs and swung around. The pole is slippery, and she gave a look that pretty much said, "I done goofed." Slowly slid down until the end of the pole and fell down to the bottom. It took me 2 minutes to check on her because I was laughing too hard. Chasing bottle caps is also fun, and placing her ass in my face while I sleep. This post by Phoenix Sword. My cat catches moths and brings them inside. Very big moths. He then lets them go and catches them around the house. One time, he brought in a deflated pink balloon. A for effort. My cat will lick any skin he sees. Not sure if this is like a disorder or what, but seriously, anytime that cat can see skin, he will go to great lengths to lick it. The glass top of my coffee table broke, and I had removed it, so she went to jump on it. The funny part was that she wasn't surprised she had landed under the table instead of on top. It was when she looked up, where the glass was supposed to be, walked out of the table frame, and immediately tried it again. The cat was like, oh yeah, sometimes the floor does that. It's just not there. You know, you jump through it, all your atoms line up, and you just make it, hole in one. When that happens, it occasionally does in cat world, Just try again. It'll probably work the second time. Diagon Alley. All my cats are huge, except one. She is super tiny. The tiny cat loves to sit in the weirdest places and just hide or sleep. She will sit in the fruit bowl, open a cupboard and fall asleep on some Tupperware, curl up in the bathroom or kitchen sink, and a lot of other weird shit. On the evening we came home from Thanksgiving, my husband lit a scented candle on the table. About half an hour later, our 10-year-old Torby climbs up on the table, walks over to the candle, and belly flops down onto it. She instantly burst into flames, but she had such long hair that she didn't feel it and just lay there while my husband patted out the fire. I was out grocery shopping when I got the text. Ninja just belly flopped out onto the candle and exploded into fire, and the whole house is gross. She is unharmed, but all of her hair on her tummy is charred. I should also add that this is not the first time something like this has happened. One of my cats jumps at everything. I touched her when she wasn't expecting it to move her off of the counter. She isn't supposed to be on there in the first place. I accidentally spooked her and she jumped so high. She fell off the counter and sent all of the papers everywhere. She ran almost in place on the wooden floor because of her claws. My other cat jumped for the strings of my work apron that was on the railings of the stairs. She fell down said stairs and didn't even get the strings. You know, my girlfriend's cat absolutely loves digging through the garbage can. The thing is, he is solely directed towards finding and devouring used Q-tips. This is just one thing that he enjoys doing, but it's an interesting and odd little kitty. I can never quite tell if he's extremely intelligent or mentally challenged, as he doesn't act like most other cats. The Q-tip thing is real. There are some cats that have a disposition towards earwax for some reason. I knew a cat like that. And you can tell by how the cat interacts with you, because it'll like sniff your ears and lick and try and get inside your ears. They just really like that for some reason. So you can imagine the cats as like little heroin addicts, and their fix is earwax, and they'll do anything to get your earwax. They're quite adorable, really. Much cuter than human versions of that. This posed by Fusru Doodles. She attacks the mailman with like a full-grown pit bull. She was a friendly cat, but something about the mailman just pissed her off. We even got a notice warning about any further incidents, and our house would be blacklisted and we wouldn't receive any mail. My current cat likes to pick up the dry food from her bowl, drop it on the floor, and then eat it. Back in the 70s, I had a cat who would hold steamed green beans between her front paws and eat them by gnawing on the upper end like a panda. That sounds adorable. My naughtier kitten, who I was working on with getting her to not jump on the counters, entered the kitchen one day as I was putting the milk away for a protein shake. I turned back around, shutting the fridge. I see her mid-leap. Cue dramatic, no, and her attempting to turn around in the air. She fails and hits the bottle. Chocolate shake goes all over the counter and the floor. Tiniest chocolate paw prints exit the kitchen. I have so much cleaning to do before work. The naughtiest kitten has a habit of leaping before looking. It was just generally on the top shelf of my bookshelf. It has a dent in it from her head. My cat the other night was walking around normally, but all of a sudden started hopping around in his hind legs frantically. He had hooked his two opposite thumb claws together and couldn't figure out how to get them loose without our help. Our cat isn't too smart. Every day after I take a shower, he fights the bath mat. Another thing he'll do is when the garage door is up, he'll climb on top of it and meow until someone comes to witness his feat of athleticism. After he's seen and suitably admired, he's willing to climb down again. Honorable mentions to the following: my friend Sally's cat, who steals underwear off people's clotheslines; my significant other's former flatmate's cat, who would bring meat home. One day it was an entire cooked chicken. Significant other's mother's cat, who loved nothing better than to roll in fresh cement. That was a good list. One day my cat was pretty young, I'll say 11 weeks. I woke up to her putting her head in my mouth. I was congested that night and sleeping with my mouth open. Woke up to find the feeling of a cool breeze in my mouth and opened my eyes to her with her head half in my mouth, breathing right down my throat. My cats, they doesn't chase laser pointer lights. Instead, they will try and knock it out of your hand. That's great. Like, just please. Our cat, Banksy, likes to drown his toys. He's constantly putting them in his fountain. Funnily enough, he seems to favor drowning his squid, Thulu, for the most part. One night, my husband was sleeping on his back. My cat stepped up and sat on his bum and stared at his back for a couple minutes. Eventually, she slowly raised a paw, looked at it for a couple of seconds, returned her attention to my husband's back, got out her claws, and straight up jabbed him. He woke up screeching, and they both went flying. I thought I was going to die of laughter. No idea what she was thinking, but it was funny as hell to watch. Mine, for some reason, will not sit while washing their faces. Instead, she must squat. So her butt hovers just above the floor. This means she isn't using it to maintain her balance, and unfortunately, she is incapable of balancing on 3 legs. So instead, she ends up sort of thumping around everywhere, trying to maintain balance, like a human would trying to stand on 1 leg for an extended period of time. She will do this regardless of where she is, from the floor to perching on a chair's armrest. She falls off the furniture constantly. That's pretty adorable. Our Siamese kitten dragged his head to the top of the cat tree so he could be comfy, but still tall. Dragged his bed to the top of the cat tree. That is adorable. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. If you're interested in making these kind of videos where you browse the internet, Reddit for example, read and react to things that you're interested in or you enjoy reading and make videos that way, you can make loads of content. We want to talk to you. Please go to our YouTube channel, click on the About section, get our email address, do a captcha, say hello. We want to set up a Zoom call with you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Ciao.